To the Gray Area stand-up for week 15, December the 14th. Today was the Green Light celebration, so we showed off what we were working over the semester as well as pitched for the next semester. Unfortunately, they cut the time max from 7 minutes to 5 minutes without telling us. So our presentation was a little rocky at the end, but the rest of it went smoothly, so that's good. What we'll be doing is we're going to talk about what work we worked on that got into the build, what things didn't get into the build, why those things didn't get into the build, anything that needs to be done for any of the work that we worked on over the entire semester to be able to be something that somebody who is completely unfamiliar with it be able to pick up and use it. Basically any sort of like bookkeeping type stuff. Also talk about what you think went right this sprint and what went wrong and what we could have done to have made it not go wrong. So why don't you start us off, Jessica?
Well,
Putting you in the spotlight.
gasp. Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm an art intern. I'm also very tired.
Tired.
Hi. So, this entire sprint I've been working at maximum speed to get everything in time. Unfortunately, not everything got in because finals are fun. And what got into the build was the fire effect, my dust devil particle effect.
Saw it off in the distance.
Beautiful.
I don't know if the corpse made it in.
Yes, it did.
Yay!
Yeah, I
Awesome.
scattered around both of the corpse variants.
Awesome, thanks.
He did that after I left though, so I have no idea what they are.
So,
One's right next
everything
to the
I
rock,
made
one's
got
under the
into
rock,
the
one's
build.
by the mountain.
So that's good. Things that went well this sprint, everyone was pretty on top of everything. And stuff just got done, which is good. And things that probably could have been better, I can't really think of anything. I'm just probably don't be a dink like me and try and do finals and gray area at the same time. It's a struggle.
Alright.
Oh, that's gonna be great on the video.
Devin Garrett, programmer. This past week and this past sprint, I've been working on... Well, first I worked on getting the detection effect fully in for the soldiers. They just have an exclamation mark pop up on top of their head when they either hear or see the player. And then this week was spent just kind of implementing everyone else's work into the build to make sure that it all assembled correctly. It didn't all assemble correctly, but
It is what it is.
it got to a good state. The things that I haven't gotten done were just didn't get to changing the root motion for the animation, but oh well, it still works. As for any housekeeping stuff, I should probably just compile kind of a write-up of what each of the scriptures I've made so far this semester do. But beyond that,
Your code is commented?
yes, my code is, at least for the most part, commented. I will go back through all of it just to double check, but for the most part, last week or the week before I went through all of my scripts and commented them.
Michaela, technically the storyboarders, but I did a few other things. This week I really didn't do much with the storyboard because not only was I helping fix the point on the trees, JA was just like, please, help us, give us art. I'm like, yeah, sure, the storyboard looks fine. They're not going to be like, what do you mean you didn't do anything on it? It's like, it's fine. Hey, so I mostly just kind of worked with JA doing some final art assets so their game looked pretty. So what I kind of wish I knew storyboarding before I even went into gamer anime. Words. I'm not awake. Game production, so I could actually make something that I'm a little more proud of. But I'm proud of how I did it with the knowledge I had at the time. So hopefully it's a good guideline for a future actual 3D cutscene.
Hi, I'm Colin Ali. I am one of the level designers. What I worked on this past sprint was the rent zone,
It's a
and
little uncomfortable.
I mostly
If you
just
don't show
didn't.
hands, you get this like just shaky camera, and it looks like whoever's holding the camera has Parkinson's.
Yeah, but
I-
it's just a little uncomfortable.
I
like
did
this.
a lot more set designing on the ranch, and I had to change the terrain I think 3 times because first time it was just the ranch looked pretty whack, and after I changed it, then we had the guy update, and I had to go change it again, and then the objects didn't work well with the terrain because they're hella annoying. and so I had to rearrange the basically pull pushes out of the ground and barrels and everything else. Got that all in, and I put in the dust devil effects. That was this past week, I believe. I got a dust devil effect in, very happy, and I learned how the animation thing worked. So more experience points. What went well this semester? Like someone's at the
Sprint.
Oh, sprint. We got everything. Everyone got their stuff done, and we actually were telling, hey, we got this done, and here you go. So there was more communication. I did like that. So there wasn't a, did everyone finish it? Yeah. What have you done? Everything you told me, and that is. So there was
Did you do stuff? Yes. What stuff did you do? Yes.
The things.
just the things you told me to do. So that's pretty much it.
Let me back up a little bit. Kylie, art lead. As of last week, I just mainly worked on figuring out the UI anchoring issue, which is a pain. Just the way we have it, it's just a pain. So hopefully I'm actually going to be talking to Charles today about maybe meeting up with him over the break and trying to figure out how we can fix this UI problem. Don't know how that's going to work out, but hopefully we can get that in. Bless you, by the way. Also, I had to go ahead and fix some of the problems with the modeling of the Jeep because for some reason I had a few polygons that were like, I don't know, everywhere. So fixed that, added some more polys to the Jeep so it looked smoother because we were having, there were some light artifacting problems. And then I retextured that, so that was supposed to go into a build, but because of a merge issue, which is nobody's fault, but yeah, it is what it is. It didn't, so hopefully we'll be able to go ahead and get that into the build just this weekend or the beginning of next week so we can make sure that it works right. This next week I'll just be working on like administration stuff, so I'm going to be filling out more of the art bible because I have some UI stuff I have to put in there, probably throw some storyboard information in there. Kind of just cleaning up everything, making sure everybody's models are uploaded to the drive or just so we have doubles in case something happens with the build. Probably also kind of cleaning up the drive because since everybody's work in progress stuff we probably don't need anymore unless it's immediately being worked on, just cleaning it up. Other than that, no impediments. I had finals. That was fun. But overall, I think this sprint went really quite well. Everybody just kind of got all their stuff done, which was super helpful. It's always easier to get all your stuff done. Everybody did. Thank you, Garrett, so much. Or Devin. I don't know why I want to try to call you Garrett. We have a Garrett. It's confusing. But thank you, Devin, for merging everything and helping all those clueless folks who don't know how to upload things to Git, and Donald also. And I really just want to say I appreciate all of you guys, especially all of you because you come to meetings regularly. And I get to talk to you in person because it's not the same when you're talking over Slack. Like, I can get a hold of people, but it's a pain. So thank you guys so much for all the work you put in. We really, really do appreciate it, and I'm really excited that some of you are going to be coming back next semester. And I mean, I'm sure I'll see you in classes if you don't, because, you know, the school's small. But
It's a small world after all.
it is a small world after all. So I'm kind of like tearing up. What is wrong with me? Some days, it's finals week.
It's all the stress.
It is. It's
just,
finally
like,
just like coming out. But I really don't think we did anything bad this spring. You know, we got things done and finished up. So.
So,
Travis has a beautiful hat. Let's
yes,
just
my
appreciate
name's
that.
Travis, and I'm game design. This past sprint, I was mostly trying to implement the trees, trying to figure out it for like Gaia, but couldn't really figure it out though. Gaia didn't want to cooperate for whatever reason, so I had to manually place in the trees. I also just like painted in the trees with the normal Unity tool just in case. Other than that, I also imported the fuel truck for the airstrip. Not much was done with the airstrip, unfortunately, though, because there wasn't very many models to put in there. Just the fuel truck. What else was I supposed to say?
So what you did last week, what you're going to do in this 2-day week thing, and then impediments.
What went right in the sprint, what went wrong in the sprint, and then any work that you need to do to be able to pass it off to somebody else next semester.
yeah, what went right? That's hard. I guess just like Kalana said, the communication was a little better. It seemed like people were commenting on what they've done and things like that. What went wrong? Gaia. It's always Gaia.
Yeah.
And what was the last part?
Gaia.
Anything that you're gonna need to.
What do you gotta do? Wrap it up.
Well, for wrapping up, probably just any minor details left for the crash light, and if like the stuff for the airbase like the assets are in the drive or something, I could implement those as well. But other than that, it's been a great semester.
Yay for everybody.
So, I worked on the presentation. I got all that sorted out, coordinating with everybody. I'm also kind of spooling up between semesters. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna take the wiki and flesh it out with all the new content that we have. So that way it's more of a useful resource for people to just go and look and understand what's going on. I'm also gonna try and shift not all of our documentation, but a lot of our documentation to also exist in the form of the wiki as well. My kind of plan is to have basically every page has two versions. One page is this is kind of more the aesthetic stuff and the information and kind of the more like in-game like lore type stuff, and then have another tab on that page that then takes you to all the development stuff. So it's everything that's shown on the page talking about, okay, when we're talking about scale, this is the scale of everything, how to check and make sure that assets are appropriately sized, how to implement stuff, guidelines to follow, naming conventions, stuff like that. That's going to be kind of working with Charles, because he's going to go through and clean up the project between semesters, and I'll probably, after he's gone through and done his cleanup, make any modifications to the organization, go through, depending on how much time I have available, which is directly proportional to how much I actually have to prep for class content next semester, which shouldn't be much, hopefully, but I'll try and go through all of our assets in the game, anything that's in a level that's not a prefab, swap that over to a prefab, do some more organization in the actual scenes as well, and kind of try and get everything to be as clean as possible, and then that will also inform what I'm showing off in the wiki. I'm trying to make it very visual and easy to understand. Yeah, that's kind of the big stuff that I'm going to be handling once everybody else wraps up their stuff, and then just kind of doing it between semesters, as well as taking all of the branches that we have and updating them to have the latest develop merged in, so that way when people start working on features next semester, if they grab as they're working on a feature that was worked on previously, they can just start working the branch as opposed to having to worry about updating it. What went right this sprint, like people were saying, communication was a lot better. There's a lot less work on my and Kylie's end to coordinate everybody and get things in. What went wrong, it's just that it's the last sprint, week 15, it was 2 weeks. You guys did a good job last week when I wasn't here, and then we had a solid build today. The big thing that went wrong was having a 7-minute deadline for the presentation. Last time we spoke about how long the presentations were, and then finding out it's a 5-minute deadline today, which meant that we didn't get to show off the ranch or really go through like what team we required. But I'm not too worried about not talking about what team we need for next semester, since they already have a pretty good idea just from what we've already been talking about. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. I'd like to echo what Kylie said. We had a lot of solid work this semester. Everybody here has been contributing very much and doing a really good job. We're definitely, we were down, we started with the game jam build here, then took a giant step upward with the first semester, and now we've taken even more of a step forward to having a very solid MVP and a good game loop and solidly iterated art and levels. And I'm looking forward to a lot of you coming back next semester. And also for Kylie to be the lead next semester. I'm not kidding.
What?
Yeah. Don't worry.
Hold on.
Don't worry.
Hold on.
That's it. That's it for this end.
I didn't know that.